You are listening to Apex One Radio. Stay with us for the best bet in the new wave of communication. Apex One Radio. Get informed, enjoy, and learn.
Okay, let's go now to Houston and talk with international actress Merlisa Determined on Apex One Radio. This is Fiesta number 59. Merlisa Determined, welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning, Ernest. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. And you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on once again.
Right. It's been a while since we spoke to each other on radio.
Yes, it has been.
And I know that...
I'm glad to be back, though.
Right. And I know that within this time, a lot has happened. Much water has flown under the bridge.
A lot has happened through the year. And I'm really, really excited about different projects and stuff that has came my way since we last spoke.
Right. And one of those projects is Bedfellas, a film produced by Nkem Denchukwu and directed by Don Okolo. I just mentioned that a while ago. And you are one of the lead actors in that production. First of all, tell me, how did you get selected for this project?
Well, as you know, Ernest, I have worked with Don and Kim on other projects before, like the award-winning Pound of Flesh and Gem of the Rainforest. But all actors are typically selected through a casting process. And Kim Denchukwu is also a casting director as well as a producer on these projects. So having experience and worked with Kim before, I know that she actually reached through the scripts and she basically would select who she sees fit to carry out as a particular character. And also there's also different audition process that actors go through. Right. Even though she has an idea, there's still a casting and audition process that actually take place for each project.
Right. I understand that actors of a certain status wouldn't just accept script because they have a particular bond with the producer, but they would be very careful about the way they go with it. Tell me, is there a particular thing that attracted you to Bedfellas, which kind of explained why you decided to get on board and do the role you were given?
Well, as an actor, it's always wise to be very selective on certain projects that you choose to work on or choose to show your face on, because not every single project that someone calls you for, you have to run and say, oh my gosh, I want to do it. You have to be very, very selective, right. Especially nowadays that there's so many talented actors that's out there. So you don't want to spread yourself too thin, right, to where you can't focus on your craft. For me, I like to take my time and be selective with certain projects that I work on. Right. But with this script, obviously it was a great storyline written by Don Okolo. In this Bedfellas, there's, all the good ingredients to make a great story. You have sex, drugs, money, corruption, lies, deceit, love, action. So it was really, really interesting. So I was really excited when I received the script.
Right. Now, even before we get to watch Bedfellas, we would love to know what character you're playing in the movie. And tell us if you felt quite comfortable playing this role.
The character which I played in Bedfellas, she was a DEA agent, which is a drug enforcement agent by the name of Sophia Black. And this was the type of character I hadn't played before. So I was excited. Once I received the script, of course, I read the entire story a few times. Just so I can have a better understanding of the role that I had to play as a DEA agent. Then I began to do my research and, studied and learned more about this type of character, like the mannerisms of a DEA agent, their movements, body language, and so on. So when it was time to shoot Bedfellas, I was able to become that character, Sophia Black. and ready to take on that challenging task ahead. So for me, it was really, really interesting seeing myself transform from being me to that DEA agent.
Now, my imagination is that you might have been in this production with some actors you've worked with before, but I also would imagine that you met some of them for the first time. But generally speaking, what was your experience with the other cast in Bedfellas?
Well, in Bedfellas, there was, I think, maybe about 2 or 3 characters or actors that I had worked with previous projects, but the entire cast, if I'm not mistaken, were fairly new characters on this project. But for me, it was good because I love working with new and old people because I'm like a sponge. I never want to stop learning. I feel like you can learn, if you pay attention, you can learn something for each and everyone that you're working with. But with this character, it was actually different from the norm of what, I shouldn't say the norm, but it's just different from other characters that I have played. Because in Bedfellas, there was a physical fight stunt scenes in this movie, which my character, Sophia Black, had to physically fight with another character. Oh gosh, I forgot her name, the character's name, but it's played by Mary Ranta, a Nigerian actor who flew in to play this role. So it was physical confrontations going on, and I was really excited because that took me away from that girly type of character, and I was able to show my range as an actor. So, I'm very thankful that Dawn allowed me to explore that side of my acting ability.
Is Bedfellas one of the movies you've done and you would press your fingers on the table to say it's worth watching?
Of course. Of course, it's definitely worth watching. Granted, there are a lot of excellent movies that are being shot in the Nollywood circle as well as American independent film. So, of course, you have a variety of movies that you can watch, but Bedfellas is something that should be at the top of that list. Like I said, I've always had a good experience, and in this project, we have actors like Kang Kuntus, which you're familiar with.
Right.
You have JD, as I mentioned, Mary Ranta, and a few other actors on this. And I believe that everyone put their best foot forward to make this film project a success.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now, on the sidelines of Bedfellas, you also filmed a short film, The Briefcase, with the same producers. Tell me, what was the experience with this one? And could you throw more light on this other project?
Well, my experience with this project, well, first of all, they actually shot 3 shorts, but out of the 3, I've only worked on one, and the title to that one was The Briefcase. And this character was completely night and day from the DEA agent that I played, which was Sophia Black. And I wanted to make sure that when you, as the viewing audience, watch both the short and the full-length movie, that there would be no traces of who I am, me, Merlisa, Determined. So for me, I just wanted to make sure in The Briefcase that I separated the looks of each of these characters. So when you see, you won't be like, oh my gosh, she looks like the same person playing these different characters. I wanted to make sure that you were able to differentiate and that there are 2 absolutely separate characters.
Right.
In The Briefcase, I decided to go natural and wear my own natural hair, pulled it back to give my character this distinctive look. And this character, she was all about business and getting the job done at all costs. Kind of like if you think of like a mercenary type of character, a hired gun woman, a professional soldier, that was the type of character that I had to play in The Briefcase, compared to Sophia Black, who was a DEA agent who had to try to do things by the book, by follow rules and guidelines and regulations for the most part. So these two characters were completely different, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to pull that off to the best of my ability.
Right. Now, Merlisa, how different are these two recent films? I mean, to the ones you've done previously, the scores of films you've done previously.
Well, I mean, it's every set that you go on, every project that you work on, it's for the most part will be different because you're working with different directors and different producers, different actors, and everyone have their own way and their own styles of doing things. And there's always something that Kim always preaches, that you have, as an actor, you have to be bendable and teachable. So once you start working with different directors and producers, you're able to be flexible and adapt to their style of acting, their style of directing, and be able to work as a cohesive force together.
It's exactly 22 minutes past 10 in Houston, Texas, and we are speaking live with international actress Merlisa Determined, who is explaining her recent experience with two films she just shot with producer Nkem Denchukwu and director Don Ekolo. And you're listening to African Fiesta on Apex One Radio. Merlisa, back to you. Soon after filming Bedfellas and The Briefcase, you were flown to Maryland to host the second edition of the New Generation Awards, dubbed NEGA. How did it go?
The NEGA Awards, to be honest, I had an awesome experience. It was a night of lots of glitz and glamour. Which is different from working on a movie set.
I can imagine.
It's completely different. You get to relax more and enjoy yourself, and but the Next Generation Awards, it's basically promoting and encouraging African talent. Encouraging others to follow their dreams and never give up. Stay focused. Because success doesn't come overnight. So. I was really excited to be part of hosting this award.
Right. And you were working with one of Africa's finest film actors, Van Vick of Ghana. How was that co-hosting experience with Vika?
Working with Van Vick, I had worked with him previously on a movie project before. So, he and I working together on this movie awards, this Next Generation. Well, of course, it is a movie awards and entertainment awards. We basically decided what we would do is we would both be ourselves and do whatever feels natural for us. And basically just playing off of each other. There was not really any rules or guidelines to go by. So our main focus was to make sure that everyone had a great time, make sure that the awards were moving along accordingly. We had great chemistry as far as hosting this event. There was lots of laughter when we interacted with the audience, and it was a good feeling to see that everyone was enjoying themselves and they were very receptive to us as the host of the evening.
Right. And when the curtains folded up at the end of the evening, what did Van Vika tell you, and what did you tell him?
Well, it was really a long night. It was really a long night, but the bottom line is we were both just happy that the awards was a success. Everyone was happy. Everyone who actually received an award came up and they gave great speeches to encourage and motivate others. And the next generation. So it was a really, really fun night. He had an awesome time as well as I did.
Right. The organizers definitely had their own last word. What did they tell you? What was their reaction?
Well, it was a group of people who actually worked hard to put this project together. You have Perfection Production, you have Inspire Africa, and OBO Entertainment. And they did such an amazing job being able to pull this off. So I definitely want to congratulate them on the job well done. And since hosting the awards, I've had nothing but positive feedback. and encouragement from others. And to be honest, since hosting that award, I have a lot of other projects that have came up since then, and even before that as well. So, for me, it was all a success.
Right. Now, Merlisa, I understand that the end of one project for you is usually the beginning of another. So what is coming up next?
As of right now, I have quite a few things lined up, but like I said, I'm very selective on certain projects that I choose to work on. But this one that is coming up in a few days, I'm particularly excited about because I will be traveling to the Bahamas to work on a movie project. And that is something that I've always wanted to do because, of course, you know that I'm an island girl, So I've always wanted to film in the Caribbean islands, and in a few days that will surely be happening, as well as I have some other things lined up, but I don't want to mention or put it out there before the time comes. I will definitely be out in LA working on a project with a few Hollywood actors, which I'm definitely excited and grateful about. But I'm not going to put it out there before the time comes as far as like mentioning names and so forth of these actors that I will be working with. But all I can say is that I'm just really, really, truly thankful and blessed for all of the opportunities and, the directors and the producers who see me fit, as a talent to work on their projects. So I'm just eternally grateful.
Right. Merlisa Determined there with updates on her activities, international actress. Merlisa, I want to thank you so much for joining us on radio today to throw more light on what has been going on.
Thank you for having me, Ernest.
And do have a fantastic rest of the day. Just before you go away, Merlisa, how is it going on with the United Nations?
With the United Nations, everything is going on absolutely well. As you know, I am part of Insurmountable Women, which is a nonprofit organization where we do a lot of work in Africa and in the Caribbean as well as in the U.S. So being the United Nations ambassador, I'm just going according to plan. Wherever they call me, they need me to go, I will definitely be there. So I'm really just truly blessed with all of the work and the good work that Insurmountable Woman is actually doing out there to help empower women, young girls worldwide.
Right. That's beautiful. Now, Merlisa, trust me, we will come knocking at their doors again in the next couple of weeks for more updates.
Definitely. I would love to talk to you again, Ernest. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and do have a fantastic rest of the day out there in Houston.
Also, Ernest, I just want to congratulate you on doing such an awesome job. I see that you're definitely promoting new talent and old talent. All the same, so I just definitely want to congratulate you.
Right. We thank God for that, Merlisa. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you again for tuning in with Apex One Radio. Stay with us on www.apexoneradio.com. Apex One Radio, your radio.